we already had a Money Matters Part 1 last time, and we talked about finances, and we gave you a lot of information, and the team did an excellent job with providing lots of tools that will help you get started on this road to financial peace or financial freedom. So today what I want to do is, last time we really had to cut short the time when it came to the questions that people were asking us. So today what I decided to do and what the team decided to do is, rather than have too much time doing all the other activities, we cut short on all of those things. We're going to get right into the meat of the matter, so to speak. Now, after learning all of the things that you've learned last time, and as many of you were really happy, you were thankful about it, here's the important question that I want to ask every one of you, and then I want genuine feedback from you. Now, I know many of you were happy with the information that you received. Many of you said that it was really helpful. The question is, how many of you actually started using that information? And I want to know how many of you started using the information. Okay, here are a couple of questions I want you to answer. Maybe you can answer this in the chat area, and I'll take a look at that. How many of you read any of the books that were recommended to you? All right, let me know how many books you read in the chat area. And if you didn't read any, put in 0. If you read all 4, put in 4. If you read 3 of them, put 3. If you read 2, put 2. If you read 1, 1. That's okay. Here's another question. How many of you started budgeting since last time? Since last month, or since the last time we had this thing, how many of you actually started using the budget PDF that the team made for you and gave it to you? It was a free resource. You did not have to pay for it. How many of you actually started using the budget form? Again, let me know in the chat area if you started using that. Next question. How many of you came up with a plan to get out of debt? For all of you who are in debt. And I remember when I talked about debt, I was not just talking about credit card debt. I was not just talking about the debt on your car or on your bike or other things. I was even talking about, even if you took some money, like you took 10,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees from a friend, somebody that a family member, and they gave it to you, and now you have to pay them back for it. I'm including all of that. So how many of you actually came up with a plan regarding the debt that you are in? The next question is, how many of you took inventory of your friends? How many of you actually took the time to say, okay, wait a minute, who am I actually hanging out with? Who are these people that are influencing my life and the decisions that I make, specifically when it comes to finances? And how many of you actually said that you need to either move certain people out of your life or add certain people into your life? How many of you actually took time to do that? You took the time to think about the friends that you are in relationship with. All right, that's good. Okay, how many of you have saved and invested since our last meeting or since our last Zoom call? How many of you saved and invested? And if you did both, then write down both. If you only saved, write down saved. If you only invested, write down invested in the chat area. How many of you saved and invested since last time? All right, another one. How many of you have become more generous since our last Zoom call? All right, that's good feedback, and I want to thank you. Give yourselves a hand for being honest and participating in this and giving me some feedback. Now, the reason why I'm saying all of this and the reason I'm asking you these questions is, at the end of the day, just gathering information is not going to bring about change in our life. Just bringing about a lot of information into our lives or just buying a book is not going to change your life. All right, now that's a great step, but that's not going to completely alter your life. The information that comes into your life, when acted upon, that is what is going to change your life. Now, here's the reality. Last time I said that everyone that is on the call right now, everyone wants financial peace. Everyone wants financial freedom. Everybody wants financial prosperity. All right. In the same way, everyone wants these dreams and wishes, but does not mean everyone is going to do what is necessary for us to achieve or experience those things in our lives. Now, here, This is just us coming face to face with reality. For all the people that wanted to change their financial landscape, that wanted to change their financial situations, for all of you who said like last time was really great, I got a lot of information, it was great information, the book recommendations were great, the PDFs were great, all the information given to me was great, it made me think and all of that. Now that is good, that's a great start, but just being in that place is not going to change your life. So I just don't want us to continue having more and more information and just start building castles up in the sky. Because at the end of the day, no matter how many Zoom calls you attend, no matter how many books you buy, no matter how many courses you might buy or enroll yourself into, if you don't do the work that is necessary, in other words, if you don't apply yourself with the information that comes into your life, nothing is going to really change. All right. So with that in mind, the question then becomes, why is it that the majority of people don't really take any of these steps? Why is it that even after learning some of these things, even after talking about proven ways in which you can change your financial situation, why is it that many people don't actually take the steps? Now, here's what I want to do today. If you're taking notes, write this down. For many people, they don't take the necessary steps because for most people, it is just a dream. It is just a dream. It is just a desire. It is just a wish that most people have. Right? So now, for you to move away from that situation and to get into a place where you actually start doing something about it, I think here's what you need to do. The first point that I want you to write down is start with the why. Start with the why. Start with the why. Now, for those of you who like books or who read business books and other things, many of you might be familiar with the author Simon Sinek, who was who became really popular for his book, Start with the Why. Meaning, the question today when it comes to our finances is, why do you want to be financially independent? Why do you want to experience financial freedom? Why is it that you are looking for financial peace or financial prosperity? You need to know the why, and it needs to become clear for you, right? And sometimes this might actually take time for you. See, the easy thing for everyone to say is, well, I just want financial independence or I just want financial peace because this stress is too much for me. Right? Now, that is not going to be enough of a driving force in your life to do what is necessary for you to get out of debt or for you to do the necessary things for you to be able to reach your goals. Because the reality is this, as human beings, when we can get adjusted to the pressure that is in our lives. And what happens is we get comfortable in that stressful environment. See, the abnormal becomes normal for us, right? So you start getting calls from friends and you avoid certain people in your life because you are in debt to them, and you have made this a practice in your life so much so that that's just how you live. You take money from people and you don't pay them back. You take money from people and you don't pay them back. Now that's abnormal. But you get to the place in your life where that becomes your normal. I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. You get to a place where, yes, you don't want to have credit card debt, but you are in a place where every month you need to go shopping and you keep having to swipe the credit card, and that's a very abnormal way to live. You know that, but that becomes your normal. Even when you can't afford things, you just have to go shopping. Why? Because somebody else went shopping, or I had to go to the mall to meet a friend or to meet somebody else, and I could not walk out of the mall without shopping. I could not come out of the store without buying something. Now that's abnormal, but it becomes normal to you. So if it is just about, I just need to get out of debt, I just need to get out of the stressful environment or stressful life, that is not a big enough why for you to come up with a plan and then stick with the plan. Because all the outward external forces are going to draw you back into the same old lifestyle. All right? So the why that you need to think about, the why, what is the big reason for you? You've got to identify this clearly because that will become the vision for you. You need to identify this clearly because that becomes the vision for you. For some of you, you might say, the why for me is my family. I don't want my family to be in this kind of situation. And so maybe you're a father, maybe you're a husband, maybe you're a mother, maybe you're a wife, or maybe you're a young man. You know the kind of problems, finances can bring into a family. And you say, okay, I see how my father, was always under pressure. I see how my parents always struggled with finances. I don't want that to be the case with me and my family. Now that's a why that you can work with. Right? So the why can be regarding your family. The why can be regarding your children. The why can be for yourself, right? Or the why can be even for God and His kingdom. Why? Because you're thinking about your legacy. You're thinking about the example that you're going to leave behind for your children and your children's children, for the people that you come across with in your life. So once again, you need to know the why. Start with the why. Because if you don't have a strong and a big why, it's never going to become a vision. It's only going to remain a dream. And as long as it is a dream, you're not going to do anything about it. The importance of something becoming a vision for you is because once something becomes a vision in your life, vision pulls you forward. It pulls you forward. It moves you to take action. Why? Because vision is always exciting. It's not something that you are dreading to do. It is about something that you put in the hard work because you have a goal and that vision is in front of you and you're excited about getting to that place. In the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 2, it says, "And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so that he may run who reads it." He may run who reads it. Meaning, once it is clear, once you can put it on paper, once you can stick it on your mirror, once you can stick it on your wardrobe, bedroom, door, wherever it is, on your fridge, wherever you can see it multiple times a day, that becomes vision, and that's where you start running towards. That's when you are going to sacrifice the things that you need to sacrifice, put aside the things that you need to put aside, put the things that you need to put, do whatever it is in order for you to reach the goal that needs to be reached. All right? Now, when that vision is in place, then out of that vision comes your goals. All right? Out of the vision, you set your goals. You don't just set goals randomly. You need to set your goals out of that vision. So you start off with the why and say, okay, why do I want to be financially independent? Is that so that I can boast to people? Is that so that people can look at me and then I have a bigger identity? Then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. And you're always going to end up in the wrong place or in the wrong destination. But if you have the right why, and if it is big enough, then it becomes a vision. And when it becomes a vision, you start moving towards it. And out of that vision come the necessary goals that you need to set for your life. All right? Now, here's what I want to talk about when it comes to goals. All right? Goals need to be, two things that I want you to write down. Goals need to be specific and measurable. Goals need to be specific and measurable. They need to be specific and measurable. Again, if I say, how many of you want to save money? Everyone's going to raise your hands. If I say, how many of you want to invest money? Everyone's going to raise their hands. That's not a goal. See, after last time's session, maybe many of you wrote down your goals saying, I want to save money. I want to invest money. I want to read books. That's not a specific goal. The question is, how much do you want to save? Now, that's a goal. That's specific. See, for example, somebody might want to lose weight. It's not enough to say, I want to lose weight. How much weight do you want to lose? Is it 5 kgs, 10 kgs, 50 kgs, 3 kgs? What is it? It needs to be specific, right? Specific and measurable. Specific and measurable. Because as long as something cannot be measured, you can never know if you hit the target or not. Right? It needs to be measurable. How much do you want to save? How much do you want to invest? How many books do you want to read? How many friends do you want to have? right? They need to be measurable when it comes to goals. They need to be specific. Now, when I talk about that, you also need to think about time. In how much time do you want to reach that? So I want to save 50,000 rupees. In how many, is that in 50 years? Is that in 50 months? Is that in 50 weeks? Or is that in 50 days? See, if you say, I want to save 50,000 rupees in 50 years, well, you need to save 1,000 rupees a year. Right? That's specific. Now, if you say, I want to save 50,000 rupees in 50 days, then you also have the answer. You need to be saving 1,000 rupees a day, and then you reach your goal. You need to be specific, and it needs to be measurable, and you need to set a timeline to your goals. You need to set a timeline to your goals. Because only when you set a timeline will you be able to answer the question, what do you specifically need to do to reach the goal in that time frame? What do you specifically need to do to reach the goal in the allotted time frame? So somebody says, I want to lose 5 kgs. 5 kgs in how many time? In how much time? Is it in 5 years? Then you work out, according to that. Is it in 5 months? Is that in 5 weeks? Is that in 5 days? That's going to determine. That's going to let you know, okay, so if I need to lose 5 kgs in 5 months, now what kind of diet do I need to get on? Do I need to get on a diet? What kind of exercise do I need to do? See, everyone will say, I need to get healthy. And what do? Oh, I need to exercise. I need to eat better. Great job, scientist. Right? Everyone knows that. But the question, so why aren't people losing weight? Why aren't people becoming healthy? Because we don't have specific goals. It's not measurable. It's not specific. And so what happens is we think, we run around the block, we go jogging one day and we do 3 minutes of yoga another day, and we do 1.5 minutes of stretching the other day, and then you do 1.5 sit-ups on the 5th day. And so on the 7th day, when your friend says, hey, are you working out? What do you say? Yeah, I've been working out the last 6 days. Really? Really? So now 3 minutes of yoga, 1.5 sit-ups, and 2.5 minutes of stretching, that's 3 days of workout for you. And so when somebody says, are you working out? You say, yes, I'm working out. Now, I know this is funny, but I know people who do this. I'm actually thinking of people in my mind right now. So for them, it's like, man, I'm already on this path. No, you're not. No, you're not. See, just because you think you want to be financially independent, just because you think, okay, I'm going to save money, I'm going to invest. That's, okay, maybe you invested 2 rupees this week. And you can say, yeah, Pastor, I invested. And that is true. You're not lying. But is that what you wanted to invest? What is the kind of return that you're looking for? See, unless it is specific, you're never going to reach those goals that you set for yourself. You're only going to be deceiving yourself. See, all of these things, there are going to be multiple questions that you will have to answer for yourself if you want to be serious about reaching your goals. Again, when it comes to finances, do you need to have a financial coach? Do you need to set up a meeting maybe once a month, maybe once a week, maybe once every other week, that you can talk to somebody and say, hey, this is where I'm at, this is where I need to go, and this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm at, this is where I need to go, this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm at, this is where I need to go, this is what I'm doing. And you constantly keep updating that person. If you want to lose weight, do you need to hire a trainer? Do you need a coach? Do you need a dietitian? Are there certain tests that you need to take? Is there a physical examination that you need to go through? What are those things that you need to do? So you want to be financially independent. You want to start investing. Okay, what do you know about investing? Do you know anything about investing? Or certain times what happens is we don't have the right knowledge, and because we understand the fact that we need to save and invest, some friend might come along and say, I have the greatest idea, I'm starting this company, and if you want to invest 10,000 rupees, 50,000 rupees, 1 lakh, I'm going to make this much for you. Within 1 year, I'll double the money and all of this. And now that you listen to something like this, you might take your hard-earned money and give it to your friend to never see it again. And you think you've invested. Why? Because, I heard investment is good. Yeah, but did you do the homework? Did you take the time to say, okay, what do successful investors do? What is the homework that I need to do? What are the questions that I need to ask? Again, where do I get the knowledge from? How many books do I need to read? See, another thing, if you want to be financially independent, financially free, financially secure, one of the goals that you can have for yourself is to read 1 book on finances a month. Read 1 book a month. You've got to understand, you need to grow in the knowledge that you have regarding finances. How to manage them, how to save it, how to invest it. And if you don't know, start learning. Start learning. You can start with 1 book a month. All right? So knowledge, growing in knowledge is key to reaching your goals. Because here's the thing. If you're not growing in knowledge, the reality is as you go about reaching your goals, going on in this journey, you will face setbacks. Every one of us will face setbacks. And so if you are not growing in knowledge, you will not know how to handle those setbacks. And the temptation to cave in and quit will continue to increase. And a lot of people, the first setback or the second setback or the third setback, they give up. It's not happening. And they cave in, they quit, and they go back to living their old way. Now, one of the things you've got to know is if you want to reach your goals, you cannot quit. Maybe the way you're doing it is not working, but you've always got to have this attitude of, this did not work, but I'm going to figure out a way in which it will work. This did not work, but does not mean it cannot work. I just need to figure out another way to make things happen, all right? And then, when it comes to goals, they need to be your goals. They need to be your goals. They cannot be your spouse's goals. They cannot be your parents' goals for you. They cannot be your children's goals for you. They need to be your goals. They need to be personal. Now, why is that important? It's important because only when a goal becomes personal will you take ownership for it. Only when a goal is personal will you take ownership for it. And unless you take ownership for it, you will only have excuses. You will only have excuses. Now, I've seen this happen in my life as well. Whenever my parents wanted something for me, but if I did not see the value in it, and I was not there mentally, and I was not there, I was foolish in certain ways, and I did not receive their wisdom, and they would tell me, hey, you need to take care of this, you need to take care of this, you need to take care of this. But because as long as it was not personal for me, I did not pay attention to those things. I would do the things that they wanted me to do, but never with ownership for it. And all the time, whenever they would come back and check on me and say, hey, what's happening with that? I would always have an excuse for why it did not happen. And now I see that being repeated with other people in my life. I can be talking to other people and say, hey, here's where you need to make the change, and here's what needs to happen, and this is going to really help you in your life. This is going to help you move forward in your life. This is how you make better decisions. This is how you can have a better relationship. This is how you can have better finances. And some people will nod their head. Some people will take down good notes and do all of the things just out of respect or fear or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, because it is not their goal and because it is not their ownership of that goal, they always find an excuse. But once you take ownership of the goal, you will find a way, and if you can't find a way, you will make a way. You will find a way, and you will make a way if necessary. People who take ownership never will come up with an excuse. People who take ownership will find a way, or if they cannot find a way, they will make a way. And then finally, when it comes to goals, make it public. Make it public. Make it public. Why is it important to make it public? It is important to make it public because you're putting yourself out there. You're putting yourself on the line. Now it's not just, if you fail at something, it's not just about you. Now the people that you are accountable to, now the people that respect you also will know that you failed at something. Now, it doesn't mean you go on social media and tell all your followers how much weight you want to lose or how much money you want to save or how much money you want to invest and all of that. Now, for some people, you can do that. If you can handle it, you can do it. I'm not against that. But the least I would say what everyone has to do is at least have 2 or 3 people in your life where you say, hey guys, this is what I'm working on. And this is how much money I want to save by the end of next year. This is how much money I want to have invested in stocks. This is how much money I want to have invested in real estate. Or whatever the case may be. And you should be able to tell that to a small group of people. Maybe that's your parents. Maybe that's your brother, maybe your sister, maybe the 2 friends that you have that are really close and that are maybe on this call right now, and you are on that journey, they are on that journey. They might have a different goal. One might say, I want to save 10 lakhs. Another person might say I want to start off with 1 lakh. Another person might say, I want to start off with 50,000, another 10,000. It doesn't matter. But now that you're all in this, moving in a particular direction, you can do it together as well. Right? And that will help you move in the right direction. All right? So you've got to make it public. Making it public causes you to be accountable. Making it public causes you to be accountable with the people in your life. Because if you're not accountable, then nobody knows what you are doing. And you'll always justify your actions. Only when you're accountable to other people can they ask you the hard questions. If you tell your friend, hey, by the end of next year, starting from January, I want to save 10,000 rupees every month. And by the end of next year, I want to have 1,20,000 in my savings. If you say that and January comes along, and you guys have a meeting and you say, hey, did you save? Yes, I saved. February comes along. Did you save? Yes, I saved. March comes along. Did you save? Yes, I saved. April comes along. Did you save? No, I didn't. Why didn't you? Why didn't you? Now, if you were not accountable to anyone, here's how our mind will operate. It'll say, well, it's birthday month. I need to buy new clothes, and it's my my daughter's birthday, or it's my nephew's birthday. It is my parents' birthday. It is my whatever, and I have to spend. And so you justify yourself with that action. And because you're not accountable to anyone, then after April comes May. And May, something else comes along, and now you have already started deviating from your plan, and 1 month becomes 2 months, 2 months becomes 3 months. And then even after, when you try to come back to your original plan, you've already messed up 3 months. A lot of times, here's what we'll think. This month I'll go ahead and spend it, but next month I'll save 20,000. Guess what? You're not going to. You're not going to. That's just the reality. Right? And so make it public, be accountable to one another, and then you will start getting to reaching the goals that you set for yourself and reaching the destination that you have for yourselves, the vision that you set for your life. All right? Okay, I'll close it with that. I hope this is helpful. I hope this will, make things a lot more practical for you, so that with the information that you learned from our first session, if you combine it with the information now that you got from this session, I believe you should be able to take some serious decisions, and you will be able to move in the right direction where it comes to your finances. All right. I hope that is helpful.